In the heart of El Salvador, a colossal structure casts an imposing shadow. This is not just any building, it is a fortress, a bastion of security and control. Its presence is felt far and wide, a constant reminder of the government's iron grip on law and order. This is CECOT, the Center for the Confinement of Terrorism, the world's largest and most secure prison. It stands as a testament to the lengths a nation will go to protect its citizens from the scourge of crime and violence. Built to house the most dangerous criminals, CECOT stands as a symbol of the government's unwavering commitment to crushing gang violence and restoring peace to a nation ravaged by crime. Every corner of this facility is designed with one purpose in mind: to ensure that those who have wreaked havoc on society are kept under the strictest control. This is not just a prison. It is a fortress designed to break the back of organized crime. Its walls are fortified, its security measures unparalleled. It is a place where the rule of law reigns supreme and where the most dangerous elements of society are kept in check. The sheer scale of CECOT is awe-inspiring. It is a sprawling complex, a city within a city designed to house thousands of inmates. Its vastness is a reflection of the enormity of the task at hand, to contain and control the most dangerous criminals. It sprawls across 410 acres, its perimeter a menacing gauntlet of towering walls, razor wire, and watchtowers. Each element of its design serves a purpose, creating a formidable barrier that is nearly impossible to breach. This is a place designed to instill fear in the hearts of criminals and hope in the hearts of ordinary citizens. It is a symbol of the government's resolve to restore order and safety, a beacon of hope for a brighter future. CECOT is a testament to modern engineering and a no-nonsense approach to prison design. Completed in 2022, the prison is divided into 8 separate modules, each capable of holding thousands of inmates. The outer walls, standing an imposing 3 meters high, are reinforced with steel and topped with razor wire. But the defenses don't stop there. An electrified fence, crackling with 15,000 volts, encircles the entire complex. 19 watchtowers, manned by heavily armed guards, provide a 360-degree view of the surroundings. A 2-kilometer signal jamming radius ensures that communication with the outside world is impossible. This is a place designed for absolute control. Entering CECOT is a journey into a world of extreme security. Every person, whether guard or visitor, undergoes rigorous searches. Body scanners, X-ray machines, and meticulously trained sniffer dogs leave no room for contraband. The 600 soldiers patrolling the perimeter are El Salvador's elite. Armed with military-grade weaponry and authorized to use lethal force, they are a constant reminder of the prison's zero-tolerance policy towards violence or escape attempts. Inside, the guards, clad in black tactical gear, maintain order with an iron fist. Their presence is a constant, a stark reminder to the inmates that this is a place of punishment, not rehabilitation. Life inside CECOT is harsh and regimented. The environment is designed to break the spirit and enforce strict discipline. From the moment inmates wake up to the time they go to bed, every minute is accounted for and controlled by the prison authorities. Inmates, stripped of their identities and dressed in identical white uniforms, are confined to overcrowded cells. These uniforms serve as a constant reminder of their loss of individuality and freedom. The cells are small and cramped, with barely enough room to move. Each cramped space, designed to hold 80 inmates, often houses as many as 150. The overcrowding leads to a lack of privacy and increased tension among the prisoners. Bunk beds are stacked 3 high and personal space is virtually non-existent. The daily routine is monotonous and unforgiving. Inmates follow a strict schedule that leaves little room for personal time or relaxation. The day begins early, with a wake-up call at dawn, followed by a series of mandatory activities. Inmates are allowed out of their cells for only 2 hours a day. During this time, they must choose between exercise, showering, or making use of the limited facilities available to them. The rest of the day is spent in their cramped cells. Time outside is strictly controlled, with opportunities for exercise limited to a concrete courtyard. This small enclosed space offers little in the way of comfort or relaxation. Inmates must make the most of their brief time outside, often engaging in physical exercise to maintain their health. Meals are basic and meager, consisting mainly of rice, beans, and tortillas. The food is bland and lacks variety, making mealtime a monotonous experience. Inmates often find themselves hungry and unsatisfied, with little to look forward to in terms of nutrition. Sanitation is rudimentary at best, with limited access to showers and toilets. Inmates must share communal facilities, which are often overcrowded and poorly maintained. This lack of hygiene can lead to health issues and further discomfort. Contact with the outside world is non-existent. Inmates are completely cut off from their families and friends with no means of communication. This isolation can take a heavy toll on their mental health and well-being. There are no phone calls, no letters, and certainly no internet access. The lack of communication means that inmates have no way to stay connected with their loved ones or the outside world. This complete isolation is one of the most challenging aspects of life inside CECOT. Section 5. Marked Men Gang Tattoos and Affiliations. The majority of CECOT's inmates are members of El Salvador's notorious gangs, primarily MS-13 and Barrio 18. These are the individuals who, for years, held entire communities hostage, their reign of terror marked by extortion, murder, and unimaginable brutality. Their bodies are living canvases, etched with intricate tattoos that tell a story of violence and allegiance. The number 18, the devil's horns, the teardrop, each symbol a badge of honor, a chilling reminder of the darkness that once gripped this nation. But within the walls of CECOT, these symbols hold no power. Section 6. Psycho's Tale, a glimpse into life inside. One inmate, a hardened gang leader known as Psycho, offers a chilling glimpse into the reality of life inside CECOT and the path that led him there. Marvin Ernesto Matano Vasquez, to use his real name, joined a gang at the age of 11. Now at 41 he has spent more than half his life behind bars. In a rare interview, his voice barely a whisper, he speaks of remorse and the crushing weight of his crimes. His message to the youth of El Salvador is simple: don't follow my path, stay away from the gangs. Section 7. Operation Iron Fist, El Salvador's War on Gangs. The construction of CECOT is just one element of President Nayib Bukele's ambitious and controversial war on gangs. In March 2022, he declared a state of emergency, unleashing a wave of arrests that has seen tens of thousands of suspected gang members swept off the streets. The crackdown, dubbed Operation Iron Fist, has been relentless. Police and military units have flooded the streets, conducting raids, rounding up suspects, and dismantling gang hideouts. Section 8. A Nation Transformed, the Impact on Crime. The impact of Bukele's crackdown has been undeniable. El Salvador's homicide rate, once one of the highest in the world at over 100 murders per 100,000 people, has plummeted to just 2.4 per 100,000. For ordinary Salvadorians, long terrorized by gang violence, the change has been nothing short of miraculous. Streets that were once battlegrounds are now safe for families. Businesses are thriving and a sense of optimism has returned to the country. Section 9. Necessary Evil or Step Too Far. Controversies and Debates. In recent years, the debate over the balance between security and human rights has intensified, particularly in countries grappling with high crime rates and gang violence. One such country is El Salvador, where the government's aggressive crackdown on crime has sparked both praise and condemnation. But the crackdown has not been without its critics. Many citizens and international observers have voiced their concerns, arguing that the measures are too extreme and infringe upon basic human rights. Human rights groups have raised concerns about the arbitrary nature of arrests, pointing out that the lack of due process can lead to wrongful detentions. They argue that the government's approach undermines the rule of law and sets a dangerous precedent. Alleging that innocent people have been swept up in the dragnet, these groups emphasize the importance of protecting individual freedoms even in the face of security threats. The stories of families torn apart by these arrests have added a personal dimension to the public outcry. There are also questions about the long-term effectiveness of mass incarceration. Critics argue that filling prisons with thousands of individuals, many of whom have not been proven guilty, does not address the root causes of crime and may, in fact, exacerbate the problem. The potential for human rights abuses within the prison system is another major concern. Overcrowded conditions, lack of access to legal representation, and reports of mistreatment have raised alarms among human rights advocates. Is CECOT a necessary evil, a drastic but necessary measure to restore order to a nation on the brink? Supporters argue that the government's tough stance is essential for reclaiming control from powerful gangs and ensuring the safety of ordinary citizens. They believe that without such measures, the country would descend further into chaos, making it impossible to achieve any meaningful progress. However, this perspective is not without its detractors. Or is it a dangerous step towards authoritarianism, a symbol of a government willing to sacrifice human rights in the name of security? Critics warn that such actions could pave the way for more repressive policies and erode democratic institutions, a symbol of a government willing to sacrifice human rights in the name of security. The debate rages on with passionate arguments on both sides. As the situation continues to evolve, the international community remains vigilant, monitoring the impact of these policies on El Salvador's social fabric. But one thing is certain: the world is watching. The outcome of this debate will not only shape the future of El Salvador but also influence global discussions on the balance between security and human rights.